My name is Sohail Seth and you're watching me on Free TV.
Wow Podcast with Casty.
Thank you so much, Sohail sir, for joining Wow Podcast all the way from Delhi. How are you, sir?
Very good, thanks.
Sir, from 18 to 50, people say that you're everyone's friend. How do you keep yourself so young all the time?
It's just keeping yourself contemporary, current, and making sure that you do enough reading, enough watching, enough listening in order to be relevant and in order to, find interest modules. I think more and more of us, as we grow older, we learn a lot more from the young. We learn more about technology. We learn more about how they digest what's happening in the country or in the world, current affairs. And, rather than being judgmental or rather than being overwhelming or condescending, if you're in listening mode, then you learn from all ages. 18 to 50 is just a number. So I think you've got to be cognizant of the fact that even an 18-year-old or a 14-year-old has a mind of his or her own, which you should respect and you should engage with rather than say, oh, I know it all because I'm older. Sometimes because we have this judgmental attitude, we are not in listening mode and we, mess things up.
Absolutely. Sir, I was watching an interview of yours where you mentioned that they strive on predictability. So coming to your point, what is the importance of the word patience to you in this phase of life?
I think, now I'm 57. It's important to be patient, not only when you're 57, it's important to be patient from day one, especially in our country where if things can go wrong, they will go wrong. And impatience doesn't solve a problem. Impatience exasperates you, aggravates the situation, creates a conflict where there's no conflict needed. So I think if you're just patient and you're chilled out and you're calm about things, it helps. But are we all calm? Are we all patient? No, we're not. That's human nature. Human beings want to get to the next blue mountain. They want the next thing. And they're unwilling to wait. They're unwilling to perhaps traverse the hard journey that at times you require to traverse. But that's human nature.
Sir, to be honest with you, there is a constant rush in all of us mostly to being relevant in this phase of life. Sir, do you think this hunger of being relevant is just a time game or is it right, whatever is happening?
It depends, if you kind of recalibrate your mind and say, oh, I have to be relevant, you'll never be relevant. Relevance is something that happens not because you desire it to, but it just happens subconsciously because of who you are, because the kind of person you are. If you're reading, if you're watching, if you're listening, it automatically happens because you're in the thick of things. Whether it's history, whether it's literature, whether it's politics, whether it's philosophy, you're part of that ecosystem. So you don't have to try hard. The biggest problem is sometimes we try too hard. And when you try too hard, it shows. And again, when you try too hard, it frustrates you. Because see, you will never have, and you will never be the perfect human being. You will never have infinite knowledge. You will never be the polymath that, let's say, a Tagore was or a Da Vinci was. So, to aim for things is fine. That's aspirational. But then to feel frustrated if you don't get that is equally silly.
There is a common connect between you and me. Both of us, somehow we are connected to Kolkata. I'm born in there. And as far as I know, your schooling was from La Martiniere.
Yeah, from St. Joseph's, Nainital, and then La Martiniere.
Superb. In 2018, sir, there was a tweet from you that I miss Kolkata all the time. I think during Durga Puja that was.
I do actually. I think Calcutta is a very civilized city. It's a city which doesn't prejudge. It's a city which respects the mind more than the materialistic. It's a city which allows people to pursue whatever path they wish to pursue without judging. It doesn't fit you into a compartment. It doesn't fit you into a box. And I think it allows for the unfettered freedom of the mind. So, it's important to grow up in an atmosphere where you're entitled to disagree if you're not going to be disagreeable. You're entitled to dissent without, making a revolution out of it. And you're entitled to have an opinion provided you can substantiate it. So, to my mind, what is very important and what is critical to, kind of discuss is how do we as societies move forward. And to my mind, the birthplace is very important. Because the birthplace guarantees you two things: cultural rooting and social ecosystems. And that's why I think Calcutta is special.
Superb, sir. Super. Feels so good to hear about Kolkata from you. How can they be updated or relevant to this new world?
So my suggestion is, don't imagine it's going to be a new world, because we are making too much of this new normal and new world and new this thing. Look, these things have happened in human history before. Perhaps the magnitude was not the same. We've gone through plagues, we've gone through famines. We went through the Great Bengal famine, which killed many, many more people. The Spanish flu in 1918 killed more people. My point is that, rather than worry and almost suggest that the entire burden of humanity is now on your slender shoulders, that's equally silly. I think what we will realize is that there are some things humanity cannot control. There are some things that humanity must attempt to shore up. For instance, we need to, especially in our country, shore up our healthcare system. We need to recognize the values of hygiene, basic hygiene. We need to recognize that in tomorrow's world, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whether who you are or what your wealth platform is. Something can hit you as Corona has hit you. What it will therefore test are two things. It will test your resilience and it will test your adaptability. So these, to my mind, are inflection points where they test resilience and your ability to adapt to the new, so-called new order, if there is a new order.
So true. Sir, from the organizational point of view, the engagement level has changed in an organization. So do you think for job seekers, it will be really difficult to learn the work?
It will. It'll be difficult for job seekers. It'll be difficult for companies. There is going to be a bloodbath. Let's be very, very clear. For the next 2.5 to 3 years, you are going to have an economy which will bleed. You're going to have job losses. You're going to have uncertainty. You're going to have people whose salaries will be dramatically and drastically reduced. People have to come to terms with that. But that's life. Life is not about just the predictable. Life is also about the uncanny, the unpredictable, the uninvited, the unwarranted, the unimaginable. So, to my mind, I think these are great lessons for us in terms of how we as human beings have to face up to challenges that perhaps may not be of our making. Challenges that we have nothing to do with, but challenges that still exist.
What about the people who have just got the job? They are maybe in the executive levels and they see a complete new world with this online factor in the last 6 months or 8 months. Do you think
you'd have to adapt? No one imagined that the world would change so dramatically, but the world has changed. The world is not waiting for a Kaustubh Chatterjee or a Sohail Seth to decide when it will change. It has changed. Now you have only two options. One is to ride that change through, and the other is not to. So in many ways, you're stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. Point I'm making very simply, Kaustubh, is what has happened has happened. Rather than cry over spilt milk and worry about, our lives have changed. Your lives have changed. There's no denying that. Now what will you do? So there are only two ways of approaching any such thing. Number one is you will take it head on as a challenge. Number two, you will succumb. If you succumb, you have no future. If you take it head on as a challenge, you do. It's as simple as that.
Sir, if I just sum up the whole points, what would be the top 3 mantras of Sohail Seth for this WOW podcast?
Number one, read until you die. Number two, listen until your ears go bust. Number three, never do something that you will regret later. So be cognizant of what you're doing.
So true, absolutely. So well said, sir. Sir, you have been giving interviews to televisions, to internet, to radio, everywhere. According to you, who's that young person at heart you have ever interviewed?
Ratan Tata at 80. So that's why I'm saying age is not relevant. What is relevant is the messaging. What is relevant is the belief. What is relevant is the passion. And when I interviewed Mr. Tata in 2018, it was mind blowing because it was an insight into how he believes companies, organizations must give back to society, what he thinks of the India that we have today. So it was an eye-opener, and yet you had a very agile young mind talking about it.
True. And I was not aware that Sir Ratan Tata was about 80 years old in 2018.
He's going to be 82 in December this year.
Thank you so much primarily for the time you gave to me, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hi, my name is Sohail Seth, and you're watching me on Free TV.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.